Cadet Lisa Jones sat perfectly still in advanced strategic theory, her eyes fixed on the holographic display while her classmates fidgeted nervously around her. The Galactic Academy of Military Sciences prided itself on diversity, but humans, especially human females, remained a rarity among the ranks. As the only Deathworlder in her year, Lisa had become accustomed to the sideways glances and whispered comments about her species' violent home planet. Professor Trell, a tall, willowy Centaurian, with translucent skin that revealed the pulsing of multiple hearts, paced before the tactical display. Today's simulation presents you with what many call the unsolvable scenario, Trell announced, voice resonating through vocal chambers that gave his words an ethereal quality. The Keldor Armada approaches the Proxima colony. You have limited resources, outdated ships, and a civilian population that cannot be evacuated in time. In 200 years, no cadet has found a solution that does not result in total annihilation. The alien students buzzed with excitement. This was their chance to make history. Lisa simply watched, her calm demeanor mistaken for resignation by her peers. Trell continued. Each of you will present your strategy before the end of class. You have 1 hour. The room erupted in activity. Aquatic Merlians huddled in groups, their gill membranes fluttering with agitation. Silicon-based Drav clicked, their crystalline appendages rapidly calculating trajectory formulas. Even the usually composed Vulants seemed distressed, their eye stalks swiveling frantically between data screens. Only Lisa remained motionless, watching the simulation's parameters without touching her console. "Human," called out Gran, a bulky reptilian whose scaled skin glittered under the academy lights. "Have you accepted defeat already? Or perhaps your primitive brain cannot comprehend the complexity?" Scattered laughter rippled through the room. Lisa didn't respond. Professor Trell approached her station. "Cadet Jones, while I understand this exercise may be beyond Earth military doctrine, you must at least attempt a solution." "I'm working on it, Professor," Lisa replied quietly, still not touching her console. As the hour ticked away, students frantically finalized their strategies. One by one, they presented elaborate defensive formations, evacuation schedules, and last stand scenarios. Each failed spectacularly in the simulation, confirming the exercise's reputation. Finally, only Lisa remained. "Cadet Jones," Trell said, a hint of pity in his voice, "your time has come, though I note you haven't input any commands." Lisa stood and walked to the central display. "I don't need to, Professor. The scenario is unwinnable because everyone tries to win through traditional means." The class murmured in confusion. "The Keldor Armada operates with a distributed command structure," Lisa began. "Their ships maintain constant communication through quantum entanglement, creating an impenetrable network. However, they have one vulnerability no one has exploited." She gestured to the display. "Keldor ships use automated targeting systems calibrated for immediate threat assessment. Their cultural philosophy values efficiency above all else, meaning they will always prioritize the most dangerous target." Lisa tapped a small sector of space near the colony. "Here, this asteroid field contains traces of thorium oxide. If we position our 3 oldest freighters here and detonate their engines simultaneously, the radiation signature will temporarily register as a more significant threat than the colony." The room fell silent. "Furthermore," she continued, "Keldor tactical doctrine requires investigation of anomalous energy readings before proceeding with an attack plan. Their fleet will divert to the asteroid field, buying the colony approximately 6 hours, enough time to evacuate the civilians using the mining tunnels that extend beyond their sensor range." Professor Trell stared at her. "But the simulation parameters indicate the civilians cannot be evacuated in time." "The parameters state they cannot be evacuated by conventional means," Lisa corrected. "The tunnels aren't in any official record, but they exist in the historical footnotes about the colony's founding. The Keldor would never consider them because their cultural database indicates such infrastructure is inefficient and therefore unlikely to exist." Lisa turned to face her classmates. "Meanwhile, we position our remaining vessels behind Proxima's largest moon, using its magnetic field to mask our signatures. When the Keldor fleet splits to investigate the radiation anomaly, we strike their command ships from behind, not to defeat them, but to disrupt their quantum communication network for approximately 12 minutes. And then? Trell asked, now genuinely intrigued. Then nothing, Lisa said. We retreat with the civilians. The Keldor can have the empty colony. Their cultural programming won't allow them to pursue a non-strategic target once they discover the deception. They'll claim victory over the infrastructure and leave, preserving their resources for more valuable conquests. Professor Trell slowly entered Lisa's strategy into the simulation. The class watched in stunned silence as, for the first time in 2 centuries, the scenario ended with the civilian population saved and minimal military losses. How did you? Gron began, mandibles twitching in disbelief. While everyone was designing complex battle plans, Lisa explained, I studied the Keldor's behavioral patterns and cultural limitations. On Earth, we learned long ago that sometimes the best way to win isn't by fighting harder. It's by understanding your opponent better than they understand themselves. Professor Trell's skin rippled with the Centaurian equivalent of a smile. A Deathworlder solution indeed, Cadet Jones. You recognize that sometimes strategy isn't about firepower or technology, but about perception and psychology. As Lisa returned to her seat amid the stunned silence of her alien classmates, she allowed herself a small smile. Humans might come from a harsh, dangerous world, but that same environment had taught them to see opportunities where others saw only threats. Sometimes the greatest weapon wasn't a word or an action, it was the wisdom to know when to use neither. Lisa had passed the unsolvable test without firing a single shot, and in doing so, taught the galaxy something important about the species from that small blue death world.